When the latest line from McFarlane was announced a few months ago, I was excited for a couple of things. The Whirly Bat and the Peacemaker, Vigilante, Judo Master 3-pack seemed very cool because we got some obscure figures. Knowing that this line was mostly repaints, I wasn't quite as excited about the rest of it, but there are some cool things that came out of it. So first and foremost, you see all three figures up front. Now, by the way, just to be clear, these are not the McFarlane capes. These are Cape Master capes. So if you go to thecapemaster.com or look up his eBay store, you can get some of the most amazing capes out there, and they fit seamlessly onto these and the original Superpowers figures. I've been buying them for the last few years and love the effect they have on figures. So, you know, we have this, first we have the all black suit Batman. And the cool thing about this one is it's a bit of an homage to the Toy Biz Batman that we saw in the promotional shots and on the card back of the old Toy Biz figures. It was not the figure we ended up getting. The figure we ended up getting was a little bit more detailed in terms of the body, a little less Superpowers like. The head sculpt was terrible, but what we saw in the promotional art was a Superpowers Batman basically repainted. And that, I think, later became known, you know, it sold in other countries as sort of the Estrella Batman, I believe, but did not see US release as far as I know. So this Batman is a bit of an homage back to that Toy Biz Batman. So not quite the Michael Keaton version, but really just a Superpowers Batman with a black and gold suit. Love the gold logo, love the gold belt, and the all black look is very cool. You have the Tim Drake version of Robin. Again, we got this figure in the last wave, but in a much lighter green and brighter red color scheme with a green mask. This time, black mask, darker color scheme. And instead of yellow elements like the belt and the logo and the stitching on the tunic, we get gold. And this gold is a very cool look at kind of the Tim Drake suit. And you know, we had that cool one released in the Batman Returns line in 1992. It was so cool to get that figure, especially so soon after it was designed. Only a couple of years after that, the Tim Drake suit was designed. But it was really cool to see this one come out. And I think this is one of McFarlane's probably best designs so far. Love the look overall. And you can see I have the kind of neck cape. You can get this as well from the Cape Master. You can have him make this so that it actually goes over their head and just fits nicely instead of using the C-clamp. Superman, this is also a Cape Master cape. I think he has another one that has kind of like Robin. It's sort of the two-sided cape with black on the inside. That is very cool. I didn't have one of those, but I did have the red cape. And, you know, this is the new 52 version of Superman using the early McFarlane tooling and just a simple repaint with a different belt. So, you know, it does show you the flexibility of the tooling a little bit, and hopefully we still have a lot of that as, you know, you've heard me talk about in other videos, we may be in a little bit of a rescale with Batman and Robin being scaled more in line with the old Superpowers line. Hopefully we start to see that going forward. In the next row, we have Nightfall Nightwing, and this was kind of Nightwing after he lost the disco look, the collar. We did not get the obligatory ponytail, though. That would make it super 90s. We did not get that, but decent figure overall. The problem is way too tall compared to Batman. As we know, Dick Grayson is about 3 inches shorter than, 3 or 4 inches shorter than Bruce Wayne, so way out of scale. The red and gold version of Flash. Again, very cool. Love that look, that red and gold version. They actually had a version of this figure back in the old Total Justice line that made it into, I think it was a KB Toys specific line in those colors. Love that look, and you know, hopefully one day we get this figure with sort of the shorter, you know, quite a bit smaller tooling one day, so that we get him correctly scaled in with the original Superpowers line. Judo Master was, again, part of a surprise. We started getting into the Charlton comics here, comics that were bought by DC back in the day, I believe. Judo Master, I think, was a hero, and you know, he's been a bit of a villain and an antagonist in the streaming series for Peacemaker, but this version, very true to the comic look. In the back, we have Vigilante. So this is the new part of that, again, with Judo Master and Peacemaker, part of the 3-pack. Loved and wanted this figure back in the day. We know from Jason Geyer's research that Toy Otter that it was possible, had Superpowers line gone on, we could have gotten potentially a Vigilante figure. would have probably been a bit violent for the toy line back in the day, given the roots of the character. But we do finally get him made in plastic, and again, scale isn't correct. But scale isn't correct. A couple other things wrong. One, scale's not correct. Two, can't hold a weapon. Three, doesn't come with a weapon. Do like the belt quite a bit and how it fits. I'm loving both they're doing with the belts. And I kind of like the sort of bluish color scheme. Would have loved to have seen black on this, just straight black with blue and white elements. But color scheme, the gray and blue, works very nicely here. And it is cool to see it in plastic for the first time at this scale. Peacemaker, oddly enough, he fits very nicely in with the original line. And as we know, Batman is, fairly comparable to that original line. So you can see size comparison here, pretty on point. Simple elements in design. I kind of don't like the alligator arm, for lack of a better term, the short alligator arms that they gave him. But I love the overall look of it. And the only thing I would have liked differently, I wish they could have just put the gold on the dove emblem on the helmet. But that can easily be done with some customization. So no big deal there. In the back, we also have Reverse Flash, Professor Zoom, and this is a character we've waited for a long time as well. Again, problem is scale, same thing as the Flash, but a cool color scheme. And we've seen this built as a custom for years, and love the design and look. And like I said, hopefully we get it one day in a smaller version. And then finally, we get the Thomas Wayne Batman. And I know this comes from the what's it called, storyline, the Big Flash storyline that introduced us to New 52. And I should know off the top of my head, I just totally spaced it. But I don't particularly love that storyline. I know some people do. It sort of just adds to for me, more of the direct foils that we see from DC, like Reverse Flash, kind of sort of a complete reverse foil to Flash. Sinestro being just a total opposite of Green Lantern. But do like sort of the look of this one better. I like the mask a bit better than the original one they used on the first Batman. And you can see he does have the holsters on each leg. So you do see some slight differences there, and the red eyes do kind of jump out a bit. So I do have the McFarlane cape on this. I didn't get the Cape Master cape for this one, but this was I know a lot of fans actually really wanted this figure, and he's talked about quite a bit. Flashpoint, that's the series. That's the series, Flashpoint series, where he was introduced. So we know we've seen the new figures introduced for the next wave. We have Hal Jordan, we have Sinestro, and hopefully what we'll see there are a couple of also rescaled figures that start to show more than just the Batman body and the Robin body retooled. We start to see some other elements come out of that as well, that we're starting to see a scaling down that matches the original line. That might be a bit painful. We'll have to rebuy some of these figures, but incremental improvement is a part of literally every line. Star Wars, you get a new version of Jedi Luke or Farm Boy Luke every couple of years. So we're used to this in collecting, if that makes sense. And it would be cool if we can see this line kind of take on some of the characteristics of the old one. So anyway, I'll leave the link to the McFarlane shop, or I think this particular group is sold out. Well, no, I actually think I might be sold out or in stock right now. I'll leave you the link to the product details page so you can learn more. And please feel free to leave that in the comments. Please feel free to comment and subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot.